This is a video about my little mini Altoids survival kit tin. However, I want to impress upon the viewers that this is not used as a survival kit by itself. It's part of a package. What are the three things you always have on you when you leave your house? Your wallet, your watch, and your keys. And that's why I've designed my survival kit based on these three things. I'll probably have another video on the wallet. Has various tools on the sides, a paracord store, and lots of goodies on the inside. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about the Altoids tin. But all these other various devices, many of which are my own design or modifications, work in parallel with this. But right now we're just going to talk about the Altoids SMALLS tin. I've placed a zipper nylon wire tie around it with a mounting hole so that it can connect to anything, and it holds it on pretty tight. But it has two functions. It both holds it to the keys, and it also acts as a clamp to keep this shut so it doesn't open, and to keep it water resistant. Altoid tins, both full size as well as mini tins, have two vulnerabilities to water. One is the seam where the hinge is. Water can get in at that point, as well as water coming up over the lid. To make it waterproof, what I've done is I've applied tape on the inside to cover these holes, and so that you can open it quickly instead of wrapping tape around the circumference, which a lot of people do, and works good if you're storing this long term and don't need to open it and close it periodically. Instead, I've applied tape to the top surface, which when it clamps against the top metal ring and then gets put in the clamping mechanism, it keeps it a watertight seal, so water can't get up over that top edge. So let's talk about the contents. I'm going to zoom in. It keeps moving out of place when I open it, but let's see if I can zoom in nicely on this. This is about the closest my camera wants to focus. Here's a quarter to sort of give you scale. Well, the first thing that keeps falling out every time I open it is this little tube holding some jute twine, which if you look at my video for my glow fob, you'll see that this is incredibly good material for starting a fire with. We also have a bunch of matches. Everything's packed in here really tightly. In fact, so tightly I'm going to show you the paper clip first, so that I can use it as a poker. This is an insulated poker, an insulated paper clip, so it also can act as a conductive wire if you need it to. This is just a group of matches with a striker on the inside. I have several forms of fire starting. This is one of them. So 5 matches isn't going to get you far, but keep in mind this entire little kit is not much bigger than a box of matches, so it can't hold much. This is a tube of Vaseline, which can be used as a fire starting paste. But you can also use Vaseline for billions of applications, such as chapped lips. This is a re-rolled duct tape, which I've rolled around a ferrocerium fire starter rod. So if I undo all this tape, on the center I have another form of fire starting. That's a little flint that I can strike with metal to start a fire. You can also see that being used in my glow fob video. I think this is about 2 feet of duct tape. This is a plastic straw, and on the inside, let's see, how can I open this up? On the inside of this straw is a plastic bag which, believe it or not, can hold 5 liters of water. This is a produce shopping bag which I've rolled into a tight cylinder. And it's often useful just to have a bag in any kind of an emergency application, but water collection is really important in a survival situation. We sterilize the water with a sterilization tab coming up later in the video. This is a fishing hook. I can use the paracord from the other part of my kit as my line. I sometimes also have dental floss that can be used as line instead of thread. This is why everything seems to be sticky. And what it is glue stick from a glue gun. I can melt this with the fire to drip it onto something, so I have instant glue from this glue stick. You can melt it at the tip of this paper clip, another use for the paper clip. It was living in the center of this. These are 4 paper clips, not paper clips, safety pins, which I found a method of interlocking them tightly so that you can store 4 of them very nicely in this nice little configuration. And why 4? Well, if you have 4 corners of a tarp, I have, for instance, in my big kit, a plastic shopping bag. If you want to turn that into a solar still or a tent or a tarp, you need 4 attachment points for the 4 corners of it. And that's why you have 4 of these safety pins, bobby pins. This is a birthday candle. It is a joke birthday candle, the kind you can't blow out. Seems to be disintegrating, unfortunately, because it's so tightly packed in here. This is useful for starting a fire when it's windy. A lot of survival kits seem to like using these, and it helps making a fire when you're in windy conditions, which can be quite often. This is a heavy-duty needle, good for sewing up repairs. You can also use the paracord inner strands or the dental floss from my big kit. This is a collapsed, compressed Tinder Quick. These Tinder Quicks, you can resuscitate them by rolling them between your fingers, and then they get puffy and powdery just like a cotton ball. But for kit storage, I have found that what you can do is soak these in water, squish them flat in a vise, then let them dry in the vise, and then it comes out like this, and you have a nice little very compact form of tinder, great for catching a spark from the ferrocerium rod inside here for starting a fire. This is a rubber band. They can be quite useful. This is a this is a twist tie from a package of bread. It's insulated. It can also act as a conductive wire or for sealing the bag shut or lashing anything together. Now we get to my micro tools. We have 3 things here. One is a very small carbon steel hacksaw blade, which I've cut, and I've cut it at a point so that I can also pierce something. This is going to let me cut through little small pieces of metal. Not going to cut a tree with that, of course, but anything that's small and metallic, if I had to modify it, I can use this hacksaw blade. This is a micro razor blade. It's made from a full-size razor blade, but I've scaled it down, making it smaller. Saves a little bit of space. This is a true utility tool key. I had this on my keys for about a year, and I never used it. All it did was get in the way. It works. There's nothing wrong with it, but I had no application for it on my keys, so I decided to relegate it to inside this kit. It's got a lot of tools on it. It's got a pair of tweezers right here, 3 different screwdrivers, medium tip, large tip, small tip. got a can opener, a nail file. You can cut cords with this cutter right there. I doubt it's going to be able to cut a safety belt though, but something smaller, maybe like a cord or twine. So this gives you a lot of tools. There's a file right here, something very small and compact. This is a MicroPure MP1 sterilization tab for the water. What I can do is collect some form of water that I'm not confident is sterile and add this to sterilize it. This is good for about 1 liter of water, which is not going to get me more than a day at best. Even 1 liter of water is not enough for a day, but this is a real small kit, and I just wanted to see what's the most I could fit in it. Around the perimeter here, around the circumference, we have a zip tie. So in addition to the outer one, which clamps this case shut, we also have another wire cable tie inside for lashing things together. This is a homemade safety reflective mirror for signaling with sunlight. There we go. Just cut a hole in the middle, and it's made with reflective mylar tape. It's not good enough to act as a mirror to, wash your face or brush your teeth or check for spinach in your teeth, but it is good enough for flashing light in a survival situation where you need to flash the sun, and it has a sighting hole in the middle, so you can use this using the V finger technique, if you know how to do that, to signal a distant boat or a rescue team to your whereabouts. This is an alcohol cleaning prep pad, which can be used, for instance, for sterilizing the razor blade if you need to do minor surgery. Another thing you might want to use that alcohol pad for is to sterilize this little pin, which also can help you get rid of splinters. This has been magnetized, so it also can be used as a compass. You can stick this in something that floats. For instance, Tinder Quicks float. They're kind of a waxy material. So if you put this on, for instance, a puddle of water, this will rotate like a compass needle so that you know which direction is north. This is the world's smallest pencil. This will let you take notes. I carry a note paper inside my big wallet kit. Again, remember, this is not a complete kit. This is a supplemental kit to my big kit. And then finally, the top here, which is the seal so that you keep the water out, is a piece of Gorilla Tape. So I have an extra piece of Gorilla Tape in addition to the rolled duct tape, which I can peel away from inside there if I need some extra tape. So that's sort of the entire kit. Thanks for watching.